I'm really tired of people slandering coleslaw though.
Coleslaw?
Yeah, coleslaw. You know.
I'm not a fan.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't like the lettuce, the carrot, and the mayonnaise?
No.
Why does no one like coleslaw?
Bruh.
This be pissing me off because I'm like, bro, that makes such a great addition to a barbecue meal. Like some chicken,
I'm not a fan.
some coleslaw.
I'm not a fan.
Oh, I don't know, man. Welcome everybody to the Betwixt Ideas Podcast. It's me, your boy Shaq, hosting the most. I'm feeling like Ocean Spray cranberry juice right now.
I saw you tweet about that the other day.
Fam, I just had a taste for Ocean Spray cranberry juice. Like, I don't know what it is about that juice. That juice, fire.
It's a nice one.
Fire juice. Of course, I got my co-host here, Jamie. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Little, not tired.
You got that sort of Tuesday slump.
Yeah, we're recording on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like today was just a bit of a non-day.
I feel you. Me and my shit was busy, man. I was all over the place.
I was busy, but I just feel like, a bit of a non-day. I don't know. It was good, but
I need to get fucking petrol, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, I filled up a week and a half ago, and it was like full tank was like 65 quid.
Yeah, I calculated my tank, and I think a full tank's gonna be like 62, 65 quid. I'm not looking forward to that.
It's horrid, man.
I'm putting in a half tank. It's getting like 25.
I know petrol prices are fucking through the roof now.
Man,
they're gonna hit 2. They're hit 2.
Nah, I'm not trying to see that, bro. I'm trying to get an electric car at this point.
Bro, you know when the UK had the fuel crisis like a couple months back?
Was that 2018, 19?
No. Literally like a couple months back, bro.
It was a couple months.
Yeah, before Christmas.
Yes. Pardon me. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. I remember that was crazy. Because you were in the line for like a good hour or something like that, isn't it? Or 30 minutes.
No, I never queued for nothing.
Didn't queue?
My brother queued. But when that petrol shortage crisis thing was happening, I said to myself then, I'm getting an electric car. Because I'm not fucking around with this silliness anymore. I'm getting an electric car. My next car. I've still got a few years on my current car.
See, I did what no one else did. You know what I did? I went at like the first thing in the morning. It was like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Bro, the ones that I go past were shut for like a week solid.
The one in
because I go to the gym at like 6 o'clock in the morning. None of them, they were all shut.
I need to start doing that, by the way. I can't fit into like afternoon shit no more. Like my afternoons have got mad busy.
I'm there at between 6:30 and 7. That's when I come.
Like it started off from like, oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock. Nothing's really happening. I'm just gonna go to the gym, and it was cool. But now everyone's like, yo, I need you in this meeting at like 11 until like 2 o'clock. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. So now I'm like, you know what? I might just go in the morning.
I'm in the morning, bro.
I might have to start doing that. It's getting to that point. But yeah, like I did that little thing where I just go straight in the morning in the petrol station because the only one Heath near Palace Stadium.
Yeah. I know that one.
Ghost town. I'm like, yo, I'm getting the fuel.
I think you were just lucky. I'll be honest with you.
I might have just been lucky because on the way back it was chock-a-block, but at the same time I'm thinking, Mara, this is all I have to do. Just go early. Just like, right. It's like
I did, man.
It's like barbershop. People be like, yo, I'm going barbershop at 12 o'clock. It's like, you're going barbershop at 12 o'clock? You're not getting out until like 6 o'clock, bro. You're getting back for dinner. That's what like the cheat code I discovered is like go barbershop when it's about to open.
Because no one else goes.
One's there. You'll be in and out and you'll have your haircut before.
Bro, the barber ain't even there sometimes.
Man, that's the worst. Have you ever been to the barber, right? When you show up and the shit barber is the one that's opening?
To be honest, I've got white hair, so I have a hairdresser. I don't even do barbers like that.
Man, I gotta bring you in on barbershop politics, bro. The
only time I go to a barbershop is to get my beard done. And that is very rare because it's so expensive. It's like £20 just for a shape up of my beard. Yeah, I'm like, huh?
What?
Yeah, man.
£20 to shape up your beard?
Shave it, like proper do all the nice shit to it.
Fam, my barber does that for like a $5, bro.
But I can't go to a black barber's just for my beard.
Bro, yes you can.
Okay.
I'll bring you on to Flex, man. Shout out Flex, man. Flex is the guy, man. He's a magician. Trust me. £20.
Yeah, it's like I think it was between 15 and 20, but I want to say it's like 18.
Fam, my haircut and beard cost £20.
Yeah, see, that's nice.
Yeah. Man. Listen, I'll help you out. I'll put you on, man. I can't have them taking your money like that.
That's why I don't go regularly. I just do it myself mainly.
See, I have to do it myself this week because I know if I try and book an appointment for tomorrow, it's not happening.
You ain't getting one.
I'm not getting one, and I'm going into the office on Thursday. So I'm like, shit, I need to look decent. Like, I look like an old man right now.
I don't even care, man, about office appearance anymore.
Listen, I'm trying to be sexy when I step into the office, man. You see this,
I don't
man?
give a shit. I just rock
you see this jewelry I'm rocking right now, man?
I see that little gold chain on your wrist, you know.
Yeah, shout out to...
And on your neck.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying
and that one was hiding a little bit.
I'm trying to be sexy when I step into the office, man. I want people to know that, listen, I'm off the market. You can't touch me no more.
It's the confidence no one's appealing to you anymore, but that makes you more appealing.
My man, my guy, he gets it, man. Alright, man, enough the chit chat, jibber jabber, and blibber blabber.
Episode 19.
19.
It is 19, right?
Yeah, that's. I think that's my favorite android in Dragon Ball Z. I like Android. Is it 19?
Is that the...
Sorry.
19's like the little...
That's like the little fat one, isn't it?
The fat one with like the China face sort of thing.
Is that PC?
Bruh. I don't mean it as in... No, I didn't mean it in ethnicity.
I know.
Do not assume. I meant China as in like a China doll face.
Okay, nice.
Jesus, nice, man, you were like, you grabbed me, you saw the 468 coming, and you dashed me under that bus.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Jesus, I don't want you to get in trouble, bro. You're my guy, innit?
Oh my days!
I don't want people calling you out.
The podcast ain't even gone out yet, and I'm already getting tweeted.
Episode 19.
Jeez.
And on this episode of the Betwixt Ideas Podcast,
stop the podcast.
What?
Stop the podcast right now.
What are we doing?
I'm hijacking this fucking shit right now. Guys, I don't even know what Shaq had prepared for us today.
No, I'm reading out the ransom note to the embassy.
But I'm hijacking this and proposing a topic that we are talking about today. I do not give a shit. This is episode 19, Video Games 3.
Oh,
but
okay.
I want to talk about Elden Ring.
Okay.
And... that shit. I want to talk about FromSoft Souls games, Elden Ring mainly. I want to talk about Miyazaki as well, because I've just realised something as well. I haven't realised something because I was actually doing a little research.
Okay.
Because I had planned this before.
Oh shit!
I said I had something special for you on this podcast.
You did say that.
This is it. Hijacking.
All right.
Play the fucking sea shanty mutiny music over the top of this.
You've been plundered. You have no wenches.
Walk the plank, Captain. Where is it? I am the captain.
Oh damn!
Put that in if you can.
I'm gonna find it.
I am the captain.
So let's get into Elden Ring, man.
Bro, I want to say this about Miyazaki. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Very first is we'll answer this later on in the podcast because I want to talk about Elden Ring, Souls games in general, and then get back to this. But is Miyazaki, and I don't want an answer just yet. Is Miyazaki one of the best ever game designers out there?
Best ever?
We're not going to answer it. We'll answer it later. But I want that to linger because I want to talk about...
I'll put that on the stove.
I want to talk about Elden Ring.
Okay, kick us off, Betty.
This game has consumed my fucking life.
Fam, I follow a lot of people on my Twitter, man, and they are very, very big on this game right now.
You've played a little bit, haven't you?
Played a little bit. I want to play some more. Right now I'm playing Outer Worlds. Olivia's got me to play Outer Worlds, and that game's pretty fire. It's a pretty fire game. I'm liking it. I played the Kirby demo. That was good.
Yeah, I heard that demo come out.
Yeah, it was
last week.
Couple weeks back. Couple weeks back around that time, but no, it was good.
The mouthful mode.
Someone said Kirby's the throat goat, and I was like, I'm gonna ban you.
He is.
I'm gonna get you banned.
She is.
I don't know what gender Kirby wants to be identified as.
Kirby.
Fuck it, that's a new gender. Kirby.
But Elden Ring. Now, okay, I want to preface this. I do not think it's the best Souls game out there.
Okay, no, that's fair.
And when I talk about Souls games, I'm talking Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I don't think I've missed one.
Nah, you haven't. You're good.
I don't think it's the best one.
What's your best favourite one?
Oh, it's a toss-up between... So, I'm in a weird realm where I watch more Soulsborne content than actually play it.
That's fair.
So, the ones I've only ever played are one. So that's Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring. I haven't touched any of the other games.
Oh shit!
However, I know a lot because these games are highly watchable.
They are very highly watchable. Like, you can just throw on like a speed run of any game and it'll be incredibly entertaining.
I'm glad you talked about speedruns because I want to circle back to that later. Because I feel like Dark Souls glorified speedrunning.
It was definitely like, see, I've done a lot of like, I think I've told you, I watch a lot of speedruns, like a lot
I do as well.
of speedruns. I mean, like anything, and I know a lot of the history as well because I watch a lot of videos about the history, and it's definitely like that additional pillar to the the speedrunning community. Because if you think of like, I don't know, the 4 pillars of speedrunning, it's like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time. I'm gonna say. That's a tough one to say. There's like 2 of them. GoldenEye is definitely there. I know it's a weird one, but GoldenEye speedrunning is very big.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put Mario Kart Wii somewhere there. Like, those are the games that actually get a lot of love when it comes to like.
I mean, just in general, Mario games, whether that be the RPGs or even like the platformers or even the kart races or whatever, any Mario subgenre. They get speedrun to fuck. Zelda games get speedrun to fuck.
Hell yeah.
Pokemon games get speedrun to fuck.
That's another one.
And Souls games, they get speedrun to fuck. That's
the crazy thing about them, man, because it's like there's so much room for error. And I think that's the crazy thing about speedruns.
That's why I absolutely love watching Souls games, because in every Souls game there is enemies that they will just one hit you
easily,
and they have no business to one hit you. Like, they'll come out of a bush and they'll start flailing their arms. They ain't even got weapons and they'll one hit you.
Yeah.
Even the guys with weapons one hit you. So Elden Ring, I'm trash at these games, by the way.
Yeah, me too. I'm
terrible. I don't give a shit that I'm terrible at these games. Like,
the only reason I beat those games is because I don't know how to give up.
Oh, I'm the same. And I have no shame to go and farm the fuck out of some souls to level up.
Everyone farms. Listen, like, it doesn't make you a pussy to go farm. Everyone farms.
I want to play the game. I want to beat the boss. If I can't beat a boss, I'm going to go level up.
That's what
I'm not going to continue doing the boss over and over and over and over again.
Like, if you know the patterns and you just know that, okay, I know how to dodge.
Do you know what it is? I get more confident the higher level I am.
Of course.
But but in like... even more confident the way I move. So like dodging, rolling, blocking, the spacing between me and the boss. If I'm a higher level, I get more confident because it's like I have this buffer of my health being ridiculously high.
Yeah, when you know that your health is really, really
when
high.
I know I'm not getting one-shotted.
Yeah, you don't have to worry too much. You don't have to, like, your body doesn't stiffen up every time, like,
exactly.
You know, it's great. I gotta say, the one thing that's a big debate about just Elden Ring, Soulsborne games in general, you have a lot of people that are asking for an easy mode. And
I don't know, yeah.
And first of all, let me ask you, what is your opinion on an easy mode in these games?
It doesn't... like, these games are created to... Firstly, in every single one of these games as well. Obviously, I know Elden Ring has adopted a more open world approach, which, I'll be honest with you, at first was really overwhelming for me.
Yeah, but that's another topic I got to talk to you about.
These games, they go, this is the sort of the rough idea of what the story is. So not story, or rather what needs to be done. They go, you wake up, there's a big enemy, go find it, go kill it. That's it.
Yeah, go.
And you can do whatever you want to get to that goal. You don't have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can go wherever way round.
Everywhere is point B.
Exactly.
Everywhere is point B.
If you take Dark Souls 1, I'm most familiar with. So if you Dark Souls 1, you wake up in the Undead Asylum, you get out of there, you get to Firelink Shrine. From Firelink Shrine, you can go to 3 or 4 different locations right off the bat.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Catacombs, New Londo Ruins, the Undead Parish.
If you have the key, you can also go to the Valley of Drakes and go all the way to Blighttown.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could literally fight the fucking what's her name? The spider boss.
Quelaag.
You fight her literally straight away if you wanted to.
You can do her first if you wanted to.
Yeah. I think that's the best thing about these games is that a lot of people like a bit of sense of direction. I like sense of direction too. I don't like to be thrown into something like, just
But
go.
this is why I think these games can be quite overwhelming. Because for people, and that's why the criticism about difficulty comes up, because they go, I'm trying to fight this boss and it's too hard. And they'll go, well, that's a later game boss. But then people also have the criticism on earlier game bosses. And I don't even want to say the cliche of like get good, but it's just like if the game isn't clicking for you, then you don't need to play the game. No matter how good the game is.
That's exactly what I said. So to break it down, like it's okay if you tried out Elden Ring. Listen, like you don't have to be professional gamer with 9-inch peanuts.
I'm
to, like,
trash at Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I'm trash at it.
Like most people I know that play this game.
Mind you, I did play some on my lunch break today, and I did one try. The second main boss.
Okay, I don't know that far in. Like I've only seen like a few cool bosses here and there, but I don't know their names or anything.
So it's like the first area, like the main boss of the first area is Godric.
Okay.
Which you would have heard of. Like I beat him, whatever. And then you go to this lake area, and there's a lady in there called Renala or something like that.
I thought you say Ronaldo or something.
Ronaldo.
Wow.
And you have to like beat his Portugal team.
Shit.
In a football match.
Oh.
And it's real world 90 minutes that you have to fight him for.
World Cup 90th minute.
No, Renala, and I first tried her today on my lunch break.
Nice. And it was just
First
try, man. Like,
mind you, I don't play this game blind. So I've got fucking... If you can see my laptop that I have accompanying me when I'm playing this game, I have about 49 tabs open.
Like, yo, where do I find this sword?
Where do I find this sword that basically beats the game?
Fam, you know what I've noticed about me running Souls games? Just want to say quickly is that I actually do love a great sword build. They are so fun.
Oh, I've got this massive scythe at the moment.
Oh, I love a great sword build. I've done it like 3 times so far since playing any Souls game. I always end up doing it. I start off with like sword and shield, blah, blah, blah. And then someone's like, yo, go get the Zweihander. And I was like...
Oh, the Zweihander, yeah.
So I get the Zweihander. I'm like...
Do you know what? Do you know what that means?
What does it mean?
I'm pretty sure it's just German for two-hander.
It probably is, you know. That sounds like it could do that.
If I'm wrong, let me know.
Like I literally like to look like Guts from Berserk every time I play. Like it's so fucking fun.
There's a sword that looks like his sword in the game.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think there's one in Dark Souls 2 as well, Dark Souls 3, one of those ones where it's like literally Guts is like great broadsword or whatever. It's so sick. Just to go back a few minutes, going back just to like the difficulty in Elden Ring. The thing about that is that I understand like a lot of people might not first like be drawn in because it's like, oh, it's too hard. No one likes losing a game because it makes them feel dumb. It makes them feel inadequate. They don't want to feel like they can't do something. They want to appreciate the game for the art, the music, the characters, and the story, but they don't want to have to jump through the hoop of the gameplay. There's people out there that are like that, and I'm like...
The thing is if what I would say is you can always watch someone play the game.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be a stigma attached to it, because Let's Plays are for people that either don't want to commit to paying full price for a game but want to know the game, or they just like, oh, I like this content creator, they're playing Elden Ring, let me see it.
Yeah, like for me, like I for the life of me will never play The Witcher 3, but
It's a very long game.
I can probably watch it though.
Oh, you'll be watching a long time.
Yeah, like there's certain games where I do not want to play, but I will watch it. But just to go back, my thing about Elden Ring and difficulty is that what makes that game so fun to play is just like overcoming like an impossible odd. Like when you really beat that boss that's kicking the shit out of you for like an hour, it is the greatest feeling.
Oh, massively, 100%. Like when by the skin of your teeth as well.
Yes, like you know it's hard, like you know you're failing, and you beat it. It feels great because you're like, it feels like everything's opened up to you now. And you're not like, at this brick wall.
So when I beat the first main boss in his castle, Godric, when you beat him, you go to the next area, which is massive. This huge lake area. But like when I beat him, it was by the skin of my teeth, and like he has this like like you get him down to half health, and then he has this like fucked up transformation where he like takes a dragon's head, puts it on his severed arm, and the dragon's head comes alive and starts spewing fire at you.
That's so hard.
But this is the other thing as well, is it's like, I don't think any game tops boss design than the Souls games.
That is just bread and butter.
Like, I can't name a single game that is better at boss designs than Souls games. I will say Souls games have many more bosses, and they also have some kind of just mediocre looking bosses. But like you might just have like
the Chaos Tree. That's a shit boss.
But, I mean, from Dark Souls 1, Bed of Chaos.
Bed of Chaos.
You know, that's because they were pushed for time, so they...
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
But, I mean, they have some mediocre looking bosses that are just like a bog standard knight or something, but even like the knights look cool in their armor and like...
Yeah.
But like when you see some of these massive, like fucking like huge, like 40-foot bosses...
Those are the bosses that I'm not afraid of. The bosses that I'm afraid of are the ones that are my height.
Oh no, I'm the opposite. I'm the exact opposite. Anything to do with water as well, because my sister's watched a ton of the game, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go into this cave, and I'll be like, is it a water boss in here? She was like, no, and I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, no water boss. And then I was like, I swear to God, if there's a water boss, like a fish boss, I'm turning the game off. I do not like anything to do with water levels. When I found out that the next area after Godric was a fucking lake, I was just like, are there any deep areas in the lake? Because if I'm walking and I fall down and die, I will scream. Oh, I scream a lot playing this game, by the way.
Everyone does. Listen, if you hate water bosses, you're like Olivia. Olivia hates insects. Like anything in the video games, like an insect that's like a beetle or like something that flies around and shit. Hates it. Like she was playing,
mine's water.
I hate poison bosses. Anything that can poison me really like grinds my fucking gears. Like I just hate it. It gives me anxiety, bro.
I haven't come across any poison bosses yet in Elden Ring.
There was Dark Souls 2 where you are in like some underground cave and like these statues shoot poison at you. That pissed me off.
Dark Souls 2. I think
it's the weaker one apparently. I liked it nonetheless.
It is the weaker of the entries. I wouldn't say it's like saying it's like a 7 out of 10.
That's fair.
It's like a 7 out of 10. That's not a bad game.
Yeah.
It's just when you compare it to the other games of its genre, it comes nowhere near. Like I think Elden Ring, back to the difficulty thing, I don't think Elden Ring is the hardest one. And the reason I say that is because it is so open.
Yes, I don't think it's that hard. I think it's tough.
You can run away from a lot of Elden Ring like things.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro, you can't run away.
You really can't.
Like you can kind of like reposition.
You can escape, but it's not.
You can escape exactly, but you can't run away.
You can't run past them like, "Yo, fuck you."
Well, I mean, there will be speedrunners that disagree with running past things, but like I've watched a ton of speedruns on Elden Ring as well now, and like the any % category the game is done in 30 minutes.
Jesus,
ridiculous. I know,
but yeah, man. I think just to like cap off just the whole difficulty in Elden Ring thing. If you try the game and you didn't like it, you couldn't get into it. That's fine. It doesn't mean it needs an easy mode. I think I like games best when there's just one stack difficulty, where there's nothing like it's built.
It depends, to be honest, because I think sometimes some games would be nicest if they had like a standard difficulty and then a harder difficulty. Because I've been screaming for Pokemon to bring back that challenge mode.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Was it Black and White 2?
Yes, it was Black and White 2.
You had to like file share or file swap, you could then start the game again in challenge mode. So and everything was just a little bit harder.
I think Black 2 had challenge mode and White 2 had easy mode. And if you could somehow make it a Pokemon game even easier. Which I don't know why you would. Like, I don't know who's struggling on a Pokemon game. Even Pokemon Red and Blue. I know people say, oh, it's such a hard game. It's really not. You were just a dumb kid. You didn't know how to play the game.
You don't know type advantages.
That's it. That's really all it is. The only game that I find a little bit to go back to is just Gen 2, because the EXP curve is trash.
It's a bit, yeah.
The EXP curve is really trash, but I still like that game because it is my first Pokemon game that I played. So,
but this is the thing, like, so you're saying if everything just had a standard difficulty, or most things had a standard difficulty, I wouldn't mind if things had a standard difficulty and then a harder difficulty. So it's just like, this is the standard difficulty, but then if people want more of a challenge in whatever facet, here is a harder mode. But then again, games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or whatever, like, the game difficulty is specifically designed for the game itself.
Exactly.
It's not about making the enemies do less damage or they have less health or anything.
I don't think Miyazaki's being a dickhead on purpose. Like, he's trying to give you a sense of, like... I don't know. He has moments where he wants to be
you come out of that tutorial area and you see this golden knight on a horse and you go, oh, it's the first enemy I've seen, and then apparently it's a fucking boss that you can't do until you're like level 50 or some shit.
Okay, he was being a little shitter there, but it was like a ha ha ha. Like,
I know he was watching YouTube compilations day one and he was laughing his ass off because
hell yeah, it's like Cuphead. Have you watched a Cuphead like rage compilation? They're like the best things ever.
I do like Cuphead. Hey, funny enough, or tangent, that has a Netflix show, Cuphead.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it.
It looks very childlike, and I do want to watch it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I've watched the trailer for it, and there's like bosses from the game in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it follows like a similar theme of the game.
I think it's just an adaptation. I don't think it's really trying to follow the game like shot for shot or whatever, point for point. But on the topic of Cuphead, well, two things really. The DLC or
that's soon, yeah.
That's I think it's June. Or even sooner than that. I might be wrong, but it's real soon, and I can't wait because
it's been a while.
It's been a while, but I know it takes a long time to make a game like that.
Because it's hand drawn.
Exactly. And secondly, what are the top 3 hardest bosses in Cuphead?
In Cuphead?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know because I haven't played this game for a while.
I'm definitely saying it's the dragon, the bumblebee, and I might throw in Satan for number 3. The dragon pissed me off so much.
Dragon that's got 3 heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking vomit when I did that boss.
I think the third zone definitely has the harder bosses out of the lot.
Fucking hate the bumblebee so much.
I can't think. I mean, I don't...
It's because any boss that's an auto-scroller is immediately hard to me.
I see, yeah. Because what you're doing is you're not controlling the pace of it. You can't focus. You have to go at the pace of the game.
Exactly. You can't focus on just one thing, which is the boss. You have to focus on moving and like. That's probably took up a lot of my playtime. The dragon and the bumblebee took up like a majority of the playtime.
I do want to come back to some of the Souls games here.
Okay.
Because I want to say that these games are perfect.
Okay.
At sort of how in depth they can go with like story, lore, everything. I don't think there's a game out there that is as ambiguous and as deep as the Souls games.
I think you know what it is? Like, I think it's one of those ones where you don't know how much you don't know until you start going into it.
But this is the thing. It's just like the story in the Souls games, and it's slightly different in Elden Ring because it's a bit. I mean, if people didn't know, Elden Ring was I don't know if co-written or
it was co-written by
George R. Martin.
Finish the fucking Game of Thrones book, boy.
Yeah.
Too busy writing.
I mean, you can see the kind of influence from someone like that in this game quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But then there is the Miyazaki FromSoft spin where, like, pretty much there is so much fucked up shit in this.
Miyazaki.
Like, for example, as I said, Godric, when you get into half health, he lops off one of his arms, takes the dragon's head comes alive on his arm, and it starts spewing fire.
That is the hardest thing ever.
I mean,
real talk.
When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, I'm dead.
You're fucked.
And yeah, I mean, I can't talk much praise about Elden Ring. As I said, I don't think it's the hardest one. I don't think it's the best one, but I think it's a blend of everything they've got right in previous games. So, for example, they have like the setting of the Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, that kind of sword and shield, sort of knights and castles.
Yeah, fantasy.
I think people really enjoy that setting. I know people love Bloodborne and everything, but that is such a different paced game.
It's like what do they call it? Lovecraftian? What am I thinking?
Yes.
Yeah.
With like the aliens and the monsters and the vampires, werewolves, and all that. That's perfect. Like, that game is probably their best entry.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's so nicely rounded out as like. There's obviously flaws in every game, but like, that has some of the most fucking mental boss design, enemy design, and even mechanics in itself. It's so different, but yet so same. It's so weird.
I feel like they're going to put it on PC.
Maybe.
I wanted to because
I want to just on PS4.
Just on PS4 exclusive. But I feel like they're going to Miyazaki's gonna be like, yeah, fuck it, it's porn. Because the only problem with Bloodborne is that the frame rate is a little bit shaky. And in a game like that, you have to have some solid frame rate because you don't want to fucking mistime a dodge and then get your butthole shredded by like Father. What's his name again?
Gascoigne.
I call him lasagna for some reason. The word like aesthetically looks like lasagna to me. For
it looks
some
like
reason.
gasoline to me.
Gasoline, yeah. Anyway,
but I do want to say as well, it's just like, I think if they're thinking about getting Elden Ring and you know about the Souls games, I haven't played all of them. As I said, I've only played Dark Souls 1, 3, and Elden Ring. Out of those 3 games that I've played, I do think it's the quote unquote easiest, or it's the most forgiving out of the 3 that I've played.
It is like a tough but fair game. I like tough but fair games.
But I will also say, because so the open world aspect, it reminds me of like Breath of the Wild. It's like Elden Ring to me is like an adult Breath of the Wild.
Interesting.
Like, it's like there's all like fucking blood, gore. I was going to say nudity, but I don't think there is. But like, well, not that I've come across.
I can't think of any.
But like hard hitting, like kind of like fantasy tropes and like dragons and blah and all that kind of stuff. Whereas sort of Breath of the Wild is a bit more Nintendo-fied. I don't even want to say for kids because it's like Nintendo-fied.
It's very whimsical. You know what it is? It's like...
But I think what people praised Breath of the Wild for, that people say Breath of the Wild done the open world perfect.
Debatable, but
But I think this has done it very, very similar. For me, this feels very similar in the open world aspect to Breath of the Wild, which is nice. I like that. It's very overwhelming at first when you go, shit, there's like quite a lot of like things. The only criticism I'll say with Elden Ring is it does feel like there is a lot of dead space sometimes.
Oh, that's another thing I want to get into. But I want to say one thing first. The difference between Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild is like this. Think of like a Steven Spielberg film, which is like the Nintendo sort of side, and then think of like a Stanley Kubrick film. Yeah. That's the difference.
The adaptation.
Yeah.
While I don't think the open world areas are bad in Elden Ring, and I think they do borrow some of the good things from things like Breath of the Wild, where Elden Ring shines for me is when you get to the castles and you get to the more closed off areas.
Yeah.
Because there is no dead space. Every room, every area is strategically done with enemies to purposely fucking terrify you. For example, I walk into rooms and I'm stand on the threshold and I move the camera from side to side to see if I can look around the corner, because I'm not walking in there and some jabroni comes up behind me and smacks me in the head, because I start screaming. You know what that is akin to? A haunted house. The first time you go into that haunted house, you're fucking frightened. That is what Miyazaki in all the Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro games does so fucking well is it can just be an empty room, but because the lighting is dim and you know this is a boss area, you're fucking terrified to walk in there.
It's like, oh, why is it so empty in here? Why is this big space suddenly?
Or you see an item in the middle of the floor and you go, it's a fucking trap. It's a trap.
It's a mimic.
It's a trap. No, I'm not even talking about mimics. It's just an item on the floor, and you go, "It's a trap. It's a trap." As soon as you pick it up, a fucking a fucking banshee drops from the ceiling.
Yeah, talking about just like open world games and like Dead Space. Also, Dead Space Remake is coming out soon. Can't wait.
Did you say Dead Space 3? I thought it was Dead Space 1.
No, sorry, Dead Space Remake. I said it so. I talked too fast and I mumble a lot of shit. So
it's the inner rapper.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, certain open world games, I think they were quite fixated on just trying to look as big as possible, and they don't really think about necessarily what goes into the world. They want to make it look like there's a lot to do, but when you dig deeper, there's not a lot to do.
Yeah, Elden Ring does it better than others. There is empty spaces. My issue is they've given you a horse in this game.
Oh yeah, it's so cool as shit.
Which is cool, but like there's periods where you're just riding. Yeah,
it's like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mind you, that one I have less issue with because that is like a cowboy game, and like riding your horse in a cowboy in the game, that's like cowboy.
You just take on the scenery and whatever. And
so there's a lot of bit. So in Elden Ring, you have a map for the first time. In a Souls game, you don't. You never ever have a map until this game.
Really, yeah.
So you can set waypoints. Ooh. So you go, I know I need to get to the top left corner of this little map, and you're just riding. You go past the enemies because you're riding to your next. That's what I'm a bit 50-50 on with these Souls games, because that's not what Souls games previously were.
No. It was normally like you get to your next destination, you just have to.
You have to go through everything.
You have to go through everything.
Like you could run through everything if you wanted, but
you know what I like about that? It's more choice.
It gives you more choice. It's a lot more freer, hence the openness of the open world. But there's enemies in that game that they will never do anything to you because they're just in a random spot and you would just always run past them, sort of thing.
I think Miyazaki probably wanted to have more enemies that can stop you in your tracks, but I don't think he.
Don't get me wrong. There is a few, like you'll just be randomly running and you'll see like a massive troll and you're like, shit.
You just smack you off your horse.
They can do. But I think the reason they've done a good way they filled this space for two things is the horse. Fighting, so the on horseback fighting, you can fight while you're on your horse.
I've seen that. That's cool.
That's cool. And I mean, like, fight pretty well. Like, your horse has a health bar, and like you still get damage. You can only really swing your weapon. You can't really like cast spells or anything. I think is a bit. I would have liked it if you could cast spells on horseback. I think that would have been kind of cool.
It would be kind of dope to like throw like a thunder spear while on the horse. That would be dope. But hey, I'll take sword play.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is something they've never done before, so they have to ease into it. I mean, if they ever did an Elden Ring 2, I don't know if the story allows for an Elden Ring 2, but I'll get there eventually, and I'll tell you if there does.
Yeah.
If it does. But the second thing is the field bosses. Mm-hmm. So, like, as I said, the Golden Knight, the Tree Sentinel.
The Tree Sentinel, yeah.
He's just chilling. He's just riding up and down. And you hit him, he turns into a boss. This is an amazing aspect of blending the hard bosses of Dark Souls with open world. Because there's bosses all over the map.
Yeah, like...
You don't know if they're a boss. You just rock up. I mean, you can kind of tell because they look different than any other enemy. But
I think it's stuff like that where people need to get out of their comfort zone and explore and just like take in everything. I think that's the greatest. I think that's probably the hardest thing to do in game design is to make people give a shit. I think that's really difficult because you need to give people a reason. That whole thing of coming out of the cave, the tutorial area and whatever, and you see that it was strategically placed really well to say it's gold, it's walking around a horse. You think to yourself, oh, let me just see what it's like. That's a fantastic.
You hit like a 13 on him, and you're like, oh shit.
That is fantastic. So it already teaches you, like, hey.
It teaches you, hey, by the way, this game's hard as fuck.
It's not even just that. It's like, hey, you need to really vet your enemies before you come on, because if you think you're gonna go in and slash everything straight away, you are sadly mistaken.
I will say as well is I think they've not necessarily added, because it's always been there. Well, not necessarily, because you could never crouch in previous Souls games.
And jump. That is so cool.
You could jump in Sekiro.
Oh yes,
and I think you might have been able to crouch in Sekiro as well. I'm not 100% sure.
No, you can.
But this is the thing: they've added the jumping and the crouching from Sekiro, so like there's a bit more of a sneaky element in this game because you can crouch.
It's good, man. It's good, man.
And there's a bit more like hiding in bushes and stuff.
That is very. I like that. I like the fact that I'll be honest, right? When stealth elements are put into a game, I'm a little bit because I'm not really.
Depends on how well it's done, because I think stealth in most games really falls short. For example, Assassin's Creed.
Really?
I mean, I have never played an Assassin's Creed game as a fucking assassin. I've always ran into every fucking fort, enemy battle, fucking all guns blazing, and I think most people do that because there's the stealth. It's not shit in the Assassin's games. It's fine. It's just it's so long-winded.
I think you know what I think is there's no incentive to be stealthy because you're not going to get punished so much. No. Because even if there's like 4 people against you, you can still kind of more or less fight them off in like Batman style.
Exactly. So this is the good thing about Elden Ring, because we know how hard the normal enemies are. Like you come across an encampment and there's like 5 or 6 enemies in like a small like sort of area. But they're all sort of like doing their own thing because they're in an encampment. They're just chilling.
Yeah.
But you can go behind a couple of them, take them out. Take them out before, and then a couple of them notice afterwards, and then it's instead of it being 5-on-1, it's like 3-on-1.
That fucked me up at the beginning when I was going to the first place. Which, mind you, I want to add that little thing of having the grace, like kind of show you like a little light.
I like that.
Very good touch. Like, it's not.
It tells you where you're meant to go.
It's not like a GTA follow the dotted line sort of thing. It's literally just like it's over there. Just go over there.
It's in that general direction.
That's all you need.
And then you'll get another one, and it will kind of point you in another general direction.
Exactly. The thing that was crazy to me is when I was just going on, I saw like 4 enemies. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take out these 2 because obviously you never fight too many enemies at once.
Oh no, they overwhelm you
easily. So I'm like, killed like 2, and one guy like trying to
and they all fucking run at you,
and there was like 15 of them. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
It's like, where did you come from? I didn't even see you. And I was freaking out. I had to duck out.
Yeah.
I literally had to fucking book it and like sneak in the grass. That was a cool shit because I didn't have to run all the way back.
That's why I think they've borrowed from sort of things like
Sekiro.
Breath of the Wild, because you have these little encampments in Breath of the Wild as well. And you get loot in these little encampments as well, and like you get loot in like the Elden Ring ones as well. So it's just like the game can be played if you're good enough to just go from main boss to 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 the end boss. But this game really encourages exploration, because what it'll do, and also another thing as well is, and they've kind of been a bit 50-50 on these in the past. Like every sort of Souls game or Soulsborne, Sekiro games, they have mini quests with like NPCs. So you'll meet, like, for example, in Dark Souls 1 you'll meet Solaire, the Sunlight Knight.
My guy.
And he's searching for his son, S-U-N, not S-O-N. And his quest line is like he's trying to find this. Trying to find his son. And you have in Dark Souls 1 you have the Onion Knight as well, and he's sort of like he goes around different areas and he's trying to like do like little bits and pieces, and like you defeat the boss and he'll go to another area and stuff like that.
But it's not explicitly a quest. It's like if you do these certain things then this will happen.
Yeah, exactly. In Elden Ring they've leveled it up a lot more. There is a lot more quest lines in this game.
Okay.
And it's like so it's very similar to sort of like the people will ask you to go to a certain area and do something for you, or like go and like scout out something, or like go and get something for someone. For example, like the place where the second main boss is at this lake. Yeah. You have to have a key to get into the castle. It's like a magic castle, so you have like a magic.
I think
key.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But when you get into the castle, you can find another key, and there's this guy who wants to go to this place because it's like a place of great sorcery. So you give him the key, he fucks off there, and then you find his dead body.
Oh.
So there's like a little mini one. There's like a little, but there's like ones that span the entirety of the game. But there's not like one or two where like the other Soulsborne games would have like one or two sort of like little sort of side quests. There's like 7, 8, 9, 10 side quests in this game, and they make you go to different places of the map.
See, that's good, man. You just reminded me of something, actually, talking about the whole stealth thing. There was the part where you go into the castle, right? First area, so you get past a big ass giant guy, you go up a little bit more, and there's like mad like sort of knights people on there. It's like a little, I think there's like a, what do they fucking call it again? You put on like this big ass arrow and you shoot. It's it's not a catapult.
Oh, a ballista.
That's the one. Okay, so I was trying to like fight my way up there, but I was like, it's too much. I couldn't go through the front door. So you know what I did? I snuck around the edge, and there was like a few people there still, but it was way easier to do it that way. So I'm thinking, so I like
it rewards the exploration.
I like that stealth to it, because I'm like, what? I'm just gonna sneak through the bushes and just stab people from the back, and then go around the ballista guy and stab him in the back, and then go to the next spot. And it was so cool.
I was on my horse, just running to, from what my sister was telling me, an area that is much later on in the game.
Okay.
So I was just like, I just want to get this grace site so I can travel there. She was like, okay, it's up there. The enemies here, they shouldn't be too hard. And it's like this long ass road, and it's a lift area. I can't remember what it's called, but it's you activate it after you do some other stuff later on in the game, and then you go on this lift and it takes you to another area, which is like a later on area. But if you get to the base of the lift, there's a grace site, and I thought, just for ease, I'm gonna get it. The enemies around here are the enemies I've been fighting anyway. They're not too difficult. So I'm running on this road, and I can see this lift in the background, and all of a sudden, this fucking boulder come like from the sky.
Love it.
Bro,
classic.
These motherfuckers had 3 trebuchets. They had trebuchets. You don't know what a trebuchet is? You know the medieval thing that holds the rock and then dashes it at you?
Oh, I call them catapults.
Trebuchets, bro.
Ah.
There was 3 of them fuckers, and they were throwing rocks at me.
Kind of catapult. Okay. Got you.
Bro,
Got you.
I was like, what the fuck? There was 3 trebuchets.
It's like in Dark Souls 1 when you're in fucking, damn, what's it called with the snake people?
Sense Fortress.
That's the one. You get to the top.
That is a brilliant area, by the way. It's a whole fucking little fortress that is just traps everywhere.
It's
and it's done in a way that there's almost a platforming element to it.
Yes, there is.
And it's just
the little swinging axes.
The swinging axes. Yes, you have to time it right when you run through. It's just like, what a brilliant little thing in an already fucking hard game where the enemies can genuinely one-shot you.
Oh, you get knocked into like the little oily pit.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's just fucking you up. Oh, it's the worst. But you know, when you get to the top, right, you're like, oh, finally, I see the sky. And that big ass giant just holds that ball, and you're like, oh, shit. I had my headphones on when I was doing that. So, like, it was loud as fuck. And I was like, ah.
I'm convinced that they write these Souls games as, like, a narrative. So like they write the areas, like I wouldn't say the areas are scripted they are in a sense, because I think they perfectly place all the enemies, and obviously once you wake them up they can move around freely, but they put them in such a way that leaves you in such suspense when you go in an area. And that's why I think, so as I was saying about Elden Ring, I think the open world is great. I think it borrows from things like Breath of the Wild and everything.
Yeah.
But where this game really shines is when you get into these like more condensed areas. So like the castles. Like I just did, which is it's an academy, so it's like a school.
Okay.
So it's not a castle. It's like this giant like school.
Like what's the library in Dark Souls 1? Duke's Archives.
Yes, it's very similar because there's like bookcases and everything, and there's like scholars in there who do like magic spells.
Yeah.
But like, I've gone to this area, and it's like, this is where FromSoft really shine. When they have an area, like condensed area, these are the 4 walls of this area, and with all these rooms, I'm going to put enemies here, 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 and here. I'm going to hide some enemies here. I'm going to make this room empty, so when you walk into it, you're going to think there's a fucking enemy in there, and you're going to shit yourself. We're going to sprinkle some bosses around it.
I think it's easier to do in a condensed place, because if you think about it, right, with the open world of like Elden Ring, you can't really sneak anything around. Like, it's not like you can look.
No, I'll see something and I'll be like, I'm not fighting that, and I'll run away.
Exactly.
Or give it a wide berth. Like, for example, there's a ton of dragons in this game.
Yeah, Miyazaki loves his dragons.
Well, you say that, but the premise of Dark Souls 1 is Gwyn had killed all the dragons.
He did, but at the same time, there was still like quite a few little dragon things here and there.
There was a few dragons
around. Like
I think there was drakes, which are not actually dragons.
Oh, you're a scales expert, huh?
I told you I've watched a ton of stuff on these Souls games.
Let's see. Are drakes dragons? Drakes were draconic creatures, distant and lesser cousins to true dragons.
So they look like dragons, but they're just not dragons.
I see. Look at that old ass picture of a dragon. That's the kind of shit you would see in like an 1800 sort of thing.
That's the shit you see in these Souls games. I've thought that this morning.
Bram, I can't remember who said this, but someone was like, imagine like going to like the medieval times where like people believed in dragons. You usually just drew like a dragon out on like some parchment paper and showed it to someone. Like, yo, I saw this the other day, and they believed you.
It's true, you know.
That's what's fucking crazy. Someone drew a dragon on a parchment paper.
Yeah, because I wonder where it's actually come from. Like, because it has to have been some sort of lizard.
Somebody saw something. Like, that's how I think how a lot of these...
You see Komodo dragons, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that is the closest thing to a dragon.
Put some wings on a Komodo dragon.
And it can breathe fire.
Exactly. But that's the crazy thing about a lot of these mythical things anyway, is that I'm sure somebody saw it and then like they drew it from memory and then suddenly it's ended up like that.
I'll be honest with you, I think people were pissed out of their skull 90% of the time. When they're walking back in the pitch black from the tavern, the ye old tavern of ale, and they look up at the night sky and they see a crow fly by. They go, "It's a fucking dragon!
It's a vampire!" It's I want to know how that shit started. Like, who said like, "Yo, I saw a dude dressed in a cape who had pale skin"? And
you do realize vampires exist, though?
Huh?
Vampires exist.
What do you mean they exist?
Right, so I'm just gonna drop a little bit of a true. So I did.
Oh
right.
wait, is this from what I think it is? What? Have you been looking into the cryptid stuff again?
No. I'll be honest with you. I've been tempted to do vampires, but I might not do. This is a little insight to the cryptid top trumps. I don't know if I'll do vampires because I think they're a bit too mainstream. Also, as well, the vampires from like Dracula and all that, they're not real. Vampires though exist.
So when you mean the Dracula is not real, but
Dracula's
vampires exist?
Vampires exist.
Break
There are humans that purchase blood and drink it.
But I wouldn't say they're vampires, though.
What is the definition of a vampire?
So a definition of a vampire has pointed teeth, like long pointed teeth.
Again, they can shave them down. They can shave their teeth to have them pointed.
They may or may not be able to turn into a bat.
So okay, may not. Okay, still.
So there is a it's up for debate. They can't go out at day or they'll die.
Again, that's a choice. So yeah.
They'll die if they eat garlic, or actually, if anyone put a stake through my heart, I'll fucking die.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't turn to dust. So that's you got to tick some of those boxes.
I mean, if an atheist saw a cross, they'll burn as well. No, I'm joking. I am joking. Oh God, I've said another thing now, haven't I?
Nah, that's fine. That's good.
But no, I'm saying there are humans out there that drink blood.
Man, that's just your typical 13-year-old goth. Like,
no, they are recognized vampires. Technically speaking, they are vampires. They drink blood.
All right, who let it slide?
I don't know.
Who let this slide? Come on. Who said, "Yo, you're a vampire now"? And they, come on, man.
I don't know. But going back to quickly to cryptid top trumps, I might do vampires for them.
Throw it in there,
I don't know. No, do you know what it is? There's so much more fantastical cryptids out there than a vampire. Vampires are a bit sort of... I didn't want to do like the bait ones.
Oh, is it baby's first cryptid?
A little bit. It's like werewolves as well.
I'll leave it to you.
Don't worry, I've got a fucking list.
Alright.
But
Video games.
No, still Elden Ring. We need to talk about Elden Ring.
A little bit more, man, because like I got something on my mind. I got stuff on my mind.
I do. Okay, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I said, "Is Miyazaki one of the greatest game?
Oh yes, talk about
developers, designers, whatever, ever." So I also want to throw into this as a part B.
Okay.
Is FromSoft a AAA company?
So you want my answer right now?
Yeah.
First of all, I think Miyazaki is in that conversation.
Yes,
he's 100%. He's in that conversation for sure.
But people are not having it. That's my issue.
Give it time. Man. Give it time.
No. So, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring. That is 6 games. He didn't do Dark Souls 2 before you said you left out.
That's Team B. That's Team B.
He was there, but it was
a Dragon Ball GT sort of scenario where he overlooked it, but he didn't actually make it.
But those 6 games, he's done 6 games that are some of the best games
they're
ever.
Arguably like this new school of like games where it's challenging. Because, a lot of people like to, put Dark Souls on that sort of, pedestal of like, oh, this is the standard for like tough games.
But my point is these 6 games are all very good games. Some of them being 10 out of 10 games.
Yeah, like the
lowest one I would probably say is a 7, 8 out of 10.
You know what I'm waiting for Miyazaki to do? Like he's taken this style, he's ran with it, he's carved his own lane for it. I'm so happy for him. I want to see him tackle something else.
What do you mean?
Different genre.
But he's kind of done that with Sekiro and Bloodborne.
Well,
are you talking as in gaming genre?
Gaming genre.
So like the style itself.
So I want to see him like it didn't have to be like this genre. By the way.
You want to see him do a first-person shooter?
Not necessarily.
No, I'm just saying.
But he can do something like survival
but
horror.
then why?
That would be hard.
But then why are people like Kojima considered one of the best, but all of his games are very Kojima?
Kojima has a style that he brings. You know what it's like?
But it's what I'm saying. Miyazaki has a style.
No, but hear me out though. You know how Tarantino, like we know what a Tarantino film is like.
Okay, so you're comparing. So you're saying that's like a Kojima.
Kojima's like a Tarantino.
But then the style of Miyazaki is that sort of hard, sort of like
it's tough as nails, challenging
bosses,
very mythical fantasy type deal.
But he has. I mean, he's gone like Japanese, like proper, like mythical like Japanese.
Settings.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, where's the distinction? Because you could just say all the Kojima games, they're just different settings. They're still a Kojima game.
No, I can't really truly say that with all my heart because, like, I know, like, we all know for Metal Gear Solid. And Metal Gear
That's what I'm saying. But I think he was even in the conversation just from the Metal Gear Solid games.
He was.
But this is what I'm saying. Why can Miyazaki? And I know you've said that he can be, but he's not being talked about.
I think because of what
I mean, Kojima has a larger body of work than Miyazaki. Granted.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to compare.
But I don't think body of work equates to whether you're one of the best.
It helps.
Yeah, but the bigger body of work, the larger number of stinkers you have. And as far as I'm concerned, Miyazaki doesn't have any stinkers.
Well, then now you know what? Now we're in a different conversation now because if we're talking about just a small body of work being consistent compared to someone who has a longer body of work, maybe not being as consistent but still having bangers.
But the thing is, I'm not saying Miyazaki's even just consistent. He's creating. So he created game-defining games. And what I say with that whole Dark Souls mechanic, as in the way that you like move about and everything, has been replicated 1 trillion billion times in games.
He started a trend for sure. Like I will go as far as calling Miyazaki a pioneer. I can.
But so was Kojima.
Kojima is a pioneer. He made the tactical stealth espionage game. Which is a big deal. Not a lot of people can do what he does because no one else has really come.
I mean, Kojima is a fantastic game maker. I know. So, what was one of his most recent games? The one with the baby, Death Stranding. I know people found that game fucking mad.
It's polarizing. Some people don't really get it. Some people are like, yo, this is genius.
Well, they say it was Postman Simulator, didn't they?
People are like calling it Postman Simulator. It's a lot of walking, but people have looked at it like, no, but it's all.
I've never played it. I do want to play it, to be honest.
It doesn't look like my type of deal. Like, I can admit when something's not for me and then just be like, you know what, I don't think it's a shit game. It's just really not my flavor. So I haven't really played it. The reason why I'm sort of like giving Kojima that sort of big title sort of thing is because he's done more than just Metal Gear Solid. He's done Zone of the Enders. And that game is fucking hard.
Granted, but then you have people like Shinji Mikami who done like
Shinji Mikami
Resident Evil games. The very first Resident Evil games, like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, I don't know.
Shinji Mikami, damn.
So again, he is revered as a fantastic. Is it to do with time? Because
it's time.
When we talk about these games, they're older games.
It is time. It's time. You know,
I think he done Dino Crisis as well.
It's like fucking
which is basically dinosaur Resident Evil.
Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Yes.
He did Bayonetta. You've done Beautiful Joe, which is like one of my favorite games of all time. He's done fucking. He was also he there?
What was the Pokemon guy who died not that long ago?
Oh,
I want to say Iwata.
It was Iwata. Satoru Iwata was a big.
Didn't he do? Was he not?
He was a big hand in Pokemon Gold and Silver getting finished because.
I think he'd done.
He did a bunch
Red
of
and
shit.
Blue as well. So we're talking. Pokemon is the largest franchise in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we say this every time.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Iwata, he brought the games to life. If Red and Blue wasn't a success and Gold and Silver wasn't a success, there would be no Pokemon games the way they are now.
Yeah, because his genius was very integral to a lot of how this shit works. So I know he was a big hand in Earthbound as well, which is like a cult following.
Yeah, everyone loves that game. We're getting that on Switch right now.
Yeah, we have it on. You know what we need right now is Mother 3. If we get Mother 3 to come out into the West,
we will.
I hope
eventually.
But Nintendo is really weird though. That's the thing about Nintendo. I want to say this about Nintendo. Like, listen, they are like my introduction to video games. I know. Let's see the time. Yeah, cool. They're my.
No, sorry, I was just checking the time.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was just looking at my watch.
They're my introduction to video games, isn't it? Like the first console I owned was a Game Boy Color. But the thing about Nintendo that I hate about them is that they have this massive obsession with innovating every step of the way, which you're probably looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword. Like, sometimes you can get something right and you don't really have to.
Well, let's put it this way. Like, Gold and Silver is revered as one of the best Pokemon games.
It's up there
because it has the most simplest premise of having 2 regions. They've never ever done that again. Ever.
They haven't, but I think...
Do you think they're saving it for something?
You know,
or do you think they'll never do it again?
I don't know if they'll ever do it again. I think the reason why is because I think when you just take Gold and Silver but without Kanto in it, it's a very short game. Like, really short.
Yeah.
And I think they needed something just to pad it out a bit more.
But so is Red and Blue, though.
I feel like Red and Blue doesn't feel like I can finish it as quickly as Gold and Silver. I don't know if it's because I've played Gold and Silver more, so I know how to just like really ace it quicker.
I don't know.
Gold and Silver felt like it got finished so quickly. I think it had a lot to do with just how the balancing is, because the gym leaders weren't really balanced that well.
I don't know.
Like, I've gone back and replayed those games. I think there's a lot of things about the older Pokemon games that just did not age well. Like,
but they're a product of their time.
Yeah, for sure. But going back to just like Miyazaki and where I fit, I really want to answer that question.
I do think he now, with the success of Elden Ring, because not only does is Elden Ring getting the success from the Souls players? It's getting the success from
just critics.
Well, people that don't play these Souls games. I've seen a lot of people on social media who have never touched a Soulsborne game, and they're playing Elden Ring and they're going, I'm liking this game.
That's the best thing. You can give things a try, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know.
But that's what I'm saying. Miyazaki has now found the formula to hit the wider audience.
Yeah, like everyone, like, listen, every game.
Mind
nowadays,
you, I do think everyone knew about Dark Souls because of, like, as we were talking about
it's
before.
infamous.
Well, I think it's infamous, but I also think it's been made infamous because of its difficulty, but I think it's been made famous through the speedrunning community.
Oh yeah, the speedrunning community.
I mean, there's a demographic of sort of our age and sort of like younger who like watch like let's plays and speed runs, and like, as I said, this game is highly watchable as a let's play and as a speed run.
Yeah,
there are YouTube channels that are just dedicated to the lore of these games.
Summon Insult.
I was going to say...
sorry if we talk about speedrun.
No. Just the lore of the games. Is it like Vati or something?
He has crept up on my feed a couple times.
And all he does is he makes videos about the lore of the games. So he'll just be like, this area, and give you all the lore that you can find from this area.
Yeah.
Like... This is what I mean. These games are highly fascinating.
They are. You know what it is about the story? Like, I was just going back because I know I said something along the lines of it doesn't give you enough to really feel like there's too much. And what I mean by that is that it gives you an introduction. It's like, this is what we got to do. Boom, boom, boom. Here's some important characters, and you go off, and then that's it. There's no more cutscenes.
Elden Ring shattered. People have pieces. Go kill the people.
Yeah. And I think that's the part of why the story seems massive and huge and crazy, like in depth, because you don't know a lot about it going into it anyway. So when you start picking up a lot more, it feels like, oh shit, this feels like it can go on forever. It's like you don't know what you like. The more you know, you realize the more you don't know as well.
Yeah,
and then that's why I like, because like some games, for me, I was playing Cyberpunk, right? And man,
I need to play that.
That game really knocks you over the head with some fucking dialogue. And I can't stand it, bro. Like, the game's not bad, but I really can't sit through a lot of talking.
I completely agree with you, and that is why these Souls games excel, because especially when if you think about like the earlier like Soulsborne games, so like Dark Souls 1, there is probably less than 1,000 lines of dialogue in that game.
Oh yeah, it really.
And I'm not even joking. Like I wasn't even just plucking that number out of the air. There is probably less than 1,000 scripted lines in that entire game. But you pick up an item, you read it, it gives you a little bit. Like they go, oh well, this item was used to do this for this person, and you're just like, oh yeah, okay,
yeah, basically.
And that's how you pick up the story, or because in these Souls games or Soulsborne, it's not about the story going forward. It's also about like what happened before.
Yeah.
So it's just like this happened previously, and that's why, and you get the motivations of bosses and characters and like why. So why does Godric, for example, in Elden Ring, why does he cut off people's arms and legs and graft them to his own body? Like, I don't know that, but I'm sure there's bits and pieces in that castle of his, or bits and pieces of the lore that tell you why he does it.
I think that's a great way, like, you know, because some people don't really want to be bombarded with story. They just want to get in and get the action. Wow, this is creaky.
Well, do you know what as well? Just now that I've remembered, there is a boss in Dark Souls 3 called Aldrich.
I think I remember him. I still haven't finished Dark Souls 3.
Aldrich is described as someone that eats people.
Oh.
And when you go and fight him, because he's a boss, he exhibits powers of Dark Souls 1 bosses. So the inference there is that he's eaten these Dark Souls 1 bosses and he has gained their powers. There is nothing to ever say that he's done that, but he exhibits the powers that you've seen in a previous Dark Souls game, and you go, you know he eats people and he loves eating people. Like, he feels like you get power from eating people. And he's just like, well, he has the weapon of someone and he has the magic of someone. He moves around like someone. And it's just like, did he eat this boss? And it's just like, that's what's so special about these games, is because they, and you said, it's when you don't, it's like
the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
But that's the thing, the more you know about that, so you're like, oh, he looks like this, so I know that he looks like this, he does this, and it's like, wait, does that mean he ate that? But you don't know that.
There you go.
And it's perfect. And I'm sure as Elden Ring is out longer, because we're only talking about this game 2 weeks after its release.
It's only been 2 weeks.
End of February, wasn't it?
Let's see.
I want to say it was the 28th of February. It was either the beginning of March or end of February. 25th of February.
Oh, okay, so it's been about
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm sure as months and years roll past, we will have more lore about this game.
Yeah.
And it's probably secrets in the game that no one have discovered yet.
You know what? I think I might have to give Miyazaki, like, I think he's in that conversation with, like, the big boys.
I think he is.
I just realised he made Armored Core, and apparently it's a very big game. So
yeah, I don't think he made all of them. I think he made some of the later ones.
He directed
some of the ones on PS2.
For Answer, he was a planner for Last Raven.
Yeah, he was the director on 4, yeah.
Director for, what is Derashini?
Oh, it's a VR game.
Okay, cool. Fuck that.
I think it was just a little VR game.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, remember, he's only a supervisor on Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
He wasn't part of the shit show that was Dark Souls. I'm being harsh. But this is what I'm saying. Like, his body of work is phenomenal. Like, his body of work that he's actually been involved with heavily is really, really good.
Rap sheet, man.
And so this is sort of the second part of the question: is FromSoft a AAA company?
Oh, let's see. I guess so.
But this is what I mean. Like, people don't put them in the same conversation as RockStar, because RockStar is a household name now.
You know what? Like I said, it's body of work and time.
Yeah. To be fair, RockStar have a stellar body of work.
RockStar is RockStar, bro.
I mean, they have all the GTA games, all the Red Dead games. They have
they are
the Max Payne games.
Yeah, they are practically they're like. I mean, they're like the Rakim of open world games.
But yes, yeah.
Everyone got their swag.
What I was going to say with Rockstar games is, I don't need to know what the game is, or like, is it. So when a game comes out, you generally get a consensus whether it's good or bad relatively straight away. I don't need to know that for a Rockstar game, because I know it's going to be a Rockstar game. I know it's going to be decent.
It's going to be big. It's going to be detailed. It's going to have a lot.
It's going to be hella fun.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good writing, man.
But this is where we are with FromSoft and Miyazaki, because I don't need to know. Like, so before Elden Ring came out, I didn't really see anything about it. I don't really buy FromSoft games because, as I said, I don't mind watching them, and I'll get onto that in a little bit as well. But with this one, I was seeing so many people talking about how it was their first Souls game, and it was amazing. And I'm thinking, I want to pick this up now. Also, I had just finished the new Horizon game, and I kind of had a void that I wanted to fill.
How was that, by the way?
It was good.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I heard it was okay.
It's better than the first one.
Yeah, some people say it was more of the same sort of thing.
It is more of the same, 100 billion%. But they, in terms of story wise, but I think they. The combat's way better. The way, I think everything's a bit more aggressive as well. So it seems like you're always in action, which feels really nice. The way you move and everything. However, I will say it is one of the most beautiful games that I've ever seen in my entire life. Facial animation, I haven't seen anything better.
Yeah, Sony sort of
if you can type in Horizon Forbidden West faces, and people can zoom right into like people's eyes, and I'm telling you this now, Shaq, it looks like your eye and my eye right now.
I've seen
it is absolutely ridiculous how flawless.
No, it's good. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
And I know graphics, like, that doesn't make a game good or bad. Obviously, it's a nice thing to have on top, but the story's good, and I mean, it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, so we know that another one's coming, so that's great. I mean, I like the games. They're not. I wouldn't say they're like 10 out of 10 the best games ever. Like they're solid like 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
I might
7/8 out of 10 games.
I might play it.
Play them, man. They're fun games. But this is what I wanted to say. I had that void, so I wanted to play it. I was like, Elden Ring is going to take me a long time. I've already clocked about 30 hours in the game.
Oh, wow.
Bear in mind, I've only had it for about a week. Wow. Yeah, I know.
It's not bad.
Things have been slacking in other areas. But I'm enjoying it a lot. Like a lot. And just what I was going to say about watching things, and I do want to give it a little shout out. It's like, and I've told you about these guys before.
Prepared to.
Well, that's what they were called when they were at the UK IGN. They've now got. They've had for a little while now. It's called RKG.
Okay.
They play these Souls games. It's like British comedy and stuff. It's like 3 guys, 3 friends, similar age to us, a little bit older maybe.
Yeah.
And they play these Souls games. I mean, they play other games as well. They play the Resident Evil games.
Okay. So they've been playing this one as well?
They will be. They haven't yet.
I see.
I think it's quite a big production that they do for it. So they do. It's all planned out, like what to do, where to go, like, and stuff like that. I mean, they just. I say just. They last year finished Sekiro.
Oh, cool.
So they haven't even done Demon Souls yet.
Oh yeah.
So they will. I think they're doing Demon Souls soon, and then this will probably come. So their Elden Ring playthrough will probably come. I would say probably next year.
Okay.
But then it gives time that like a bit more of the lore can be sort of deciphered, a bit more of like all the secrets and stuff. Because I think their thinking is they don't want to play the game day one because there's going to be a ton of secrets that are found like weeks and months later, and they'd rather have like the full experience for the Let's Play, which I think is pretty good.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I might have to put Miyazaki up there, man.
I think we have to, and I also think FromSoft needs to be considered a AAA company.
They've made big games. You know what? Let's give them some. No, you know what? I'm going to give them more time. Before I can really say
what,
this,
FromSoft in general?
FromSoft and Miyazaki.
Okay.
I'm going to give Miyazaki and FromSoft some time. I think they're on a good sort of path to becoming that big boy.
Miyazaki has been making... So if we just take the Souls games, I think the Demon Souls came out in like the mid-2000s.
09.
Oh, okay, 09. So we're talking over a decade of work.
Yeah.
And we're talking stellar work.
Yeah, 10 years in the industry is it's a decent amount. Like there's some people that have been working in the industry for like 25 years.
No, I know.
So yeah, no, he's been doing his thing, man. I think we need to give him more time, give From Software a little bit more time to build their catalog.
I'm sure whatever the next game is will be amazing.
Let's see what they've been doing. Okay, so they've been...
FromSoft has been around for a little bit longer.
So Kingsfield, okay, cool.
I don't know if Miyazaki's like the president of FromSoft or something like that, or a director of FromSoft or an executive or something.
Togi! Oh, that was pretty decent. That was a decent Xbox title. What else we got?
I think for me personally, I'm going to have to put both of them up there with like the upper echelons.
I think they've been making decent games. I think they've really hit their stride around sort of this time. So like 07,
I mean,
09.
you think of how many like Souls rip-offs there are now.
There's a lot of them. There was this one in particular. I swear, if I was to describe the game cover, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's got that fucking Viking guy on the front.
I know what you're talking about.
Everyone knows
Lords of the Fallen.
Yes.
Absolute dog shit game.
I've not played it, but yeah.
It was free on like Games with Gold or some shit once.
Of course
And
it was.
I was like, oh, it's like a Dark Souls clone. It is dog shit.
No, man. I think Miyazaki needs some more time. I think he just needs that a little bit more, man. He's close. They're writing out his invitation to the big kids table.
To the Hall of Fame.
But they want to watch him a little bit more. And I think...
Few more games, or...
I give him like a few more games. Games.
3 more games?
I'm giving 3 more titles.
Okay.
3 more titles.
We will revisit this.
We will come back to it because I like him. I like what he's doing. I like what all the boys and down at From Software are doing. Just need some more time. Just a little more on the stove.
Okay.
Shit. What else are we going to talk about?
I mean, I've run out. I just really wanted to talk about Elden Ring today.
Fam?
I mean, if there's anything video game related you want to speak about...
We got to talk about 2022. Because...
What, in terms of games?
In game. You know what? Fam, it's really hit the ground fucking running.
I know. Like we're in March. We've had Elden Ring. We've had
Pokemon Legends Arceus was fucking good.
Pokemon Legend Arceus. We've had Horizon.
Yes. Let's see what we've done so far, man. Like it's a good year so far of games, and I think I mean, there's some other big titles coming out this year as well. There's a mainline Pokemon game coming out at the end of this year. Did Guilty Gear come out this year? When did Guilty Gear come out this year? I can't remember.
What a big Nintendo game. Kirby coming out this year?
Kirby coming out this March, which is going to be... I think it's going to be good.
You said this March. That's this month, bro.
That's crazy.
I need to move over a little bit because I can't see.
What else we got? Gran Turismo was pretty good. Gran Turismo 7 was pretty good, apparently.
Yep. Was Far Cry 6 this year?
I don't.
Was that January or was that late last year?
Might have been late last year.
I see.
Tiny Tina's Wonderland, man.
Yeah, nah.
How are you feeling about that?
Nah, I'm kind of done with Borderlands, bro. They fucked Borderlands 3 so much. So what they've done is they've realised the error of their ways in Borderlands 3, so now they're giving us complete fan service for one of the best DLCs from Borderlands 2. I don't agree with them. I think Gearbox...
that shit look hard, bro.
I think Gearbox is really... I think they're pandering a little bit, and I don't appreciate it.
I don't know about that, man. Like,
I do not appreciate it.
Like, listen, bro.
I'm a little bit salty because of how bad Borderlands 3 was.
Borderlands 3 wasn't bad.
It's the worst in the series.
They've butchered the story, but there's a lot of things in Borderlands 3 that I really liked, so much so that I don't really want to go back to Borderlands 2 so much. There's so much like quality of life things and changes that just make that game so fun to me.
Yeah, but that doesn't make the game.
It doesn't make the game, but it makes me want to continue playing the game.
The game has so many flaws.
The story is not great. I'll put my hand up and say the story is not great.
No, it's trash. It's not even not great. It's trash.
It's not great at all.
It speeds through something that should be a bit more important.
It's not handled very well. There's a lot of missteps.
The villains are terrible.
They're not great villains as well. I think a lot of the web. I think the balancing the content from post game content's great. I think there's a lot of they did a lot of good things. Like I don't want to just it's an utter trash entry from them. I think what they did is they really panicked with that game because I think when the reviews initially come out, it wasn't as well as they initially thought. Well, we can all agree that launch Borderlands 3 was not the greatest time because there was really nothing else to do. Performance on console were quite shabby.
It was terrible.
And replaying the game was very sluggish. Like, that's the only thing. If there's one thing I really don't like about Borderlands 3 is that replaying it is nowhere near as fun as Borderlands 2.
Or 1.
Or 1, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of talking.
Do you know what the best Borderlands game is?
What, 2?
No, the pre-sequel. The pre-sequel is the best Borderlands game. They can't see you.
Sorry, I'm not. I'm shaking my head because I've replayed pre-sequel and it is a great game, but man, that post game stinks.
I don't know. But why does a game have to have post game?
Because it's Borderlands. That's really where you get a lot of your mileage from.
But a game doesn't need to have a post game for it to make it or break it.
Fam, I'm not saying every game has to have a post game. I'm just saying Borderlands is really where things just get. Mwah. It's really the piece de resistance.
But that's only in Borderlands 2.
Nah, I'll even say Borderlands 1, bro.
No, Borderlands 1 has no post game.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
The DLC and shit, bro.
That's not post game. That's part of the game.
I would say like
DLC is part of the game. You can't go because that's unfair then because pre-sequel only had 1.
Yeah,
that's unfair then.
Okay, how are we ranking this then? How are we comparing these games together then? Are we like, because if I'm being honest, Borderlands 2 is my favorite one, but there are so many balancing issues in that game.
I think pre-sequel is the best game.
I think 2's the best game. 2 has a lot of balancing.
It's close. I'm saying I'm not saying it's like a massive gap. For me, pre-sequel is the best game because it tells a story that didn't need to be told, and in a fantastic way. It is the funniest one by far. And also, it's funnier than 2.
I'm thinking about it. It's
funnier than 2. I've played pre-sequel a lot.
I'll come back to you on that.
Also, pre-sequel shows how Borderlands 3 should have been done. And this is where I go. Because it was on a different planet. It was on the moon of Pandora.
Okay.
Borderlands 3 went to different planets. And it felt the same on every single planet. However, in Borderlands pre-sequel, there were so many distinctions from the whole, like, the moon setting. It felt so different. They added the whole oxygen stuff as well, which was so good.
I wouldn't say so good. It is cool.
When you compare it. No, it is when you compare it to Borderlands 3, because Borderlands 3 should have done stuff like that. When you go to different planets, they should have fucked around with the gravity on different planets. They should, like.
They did that on the moon-based thing when you're going to go and shoot down Katagor's like thing. They did that. They had like gravity. They fucked around with gravity on that.
They did. You're right. But then that was just borrowing what they had from pre-sequel. Why could they not make what?
How could you say like they didn't fuck around with the gravity, and when they do, it's like, but they borrowed it from pre-sequel?
No, because it was just a moon. It was a tiny little moon section. I'm saying like they could have increased the gravity on other planets.
Okay. I think the movement is really good in that game. I like the sliding. I'm sorry. There are a lot of things in Borderlands 3 where I don't want to go back to Borderlands 2.
No, but that's just the progression of like tech and games. Like, it's like I would expect a third entry of a game to feel better than the second entry and the first entry.
I think the gunplay is way better than 2 in pre-sequel.
That's what I'm saying. That's just the progression of like I would expect that.
So then what did you want from Borderlands 3?
A continuation of the story that we got from Borderlands 2.
So it's the story then that's really like the shit that broke.
I've said this. It's trash.
No, I hear you. But are you saying it's just the story?
No. The whole they speedrun everything in that game, which is horrible.
I don't know if it's like there's parts where I feel they've rushed it.
The whole game feels rushed.
I wouldn't say the whole game.
You're on Pandora for like the opening game, and then all of a sudden you're gone. There's no like build up to it or anything. And people go, oh, but the previous games are build up. It's like, yes, but like you're a brand new Vault Hunter. Like you need to like.
I personally think that's a good thing because we've seen Pandora 20 million times now.
No.
Get me off Pandora now.
But Pandora's massive.
Pandora's massive, but we've seen a lot of Pandora. Like I don't mind.
But we haven't. We've just seen certain areas of Pandora.
You don't think we've seen all of Pandora?
No, of course not. Bro, it's a massive planet.
No, it is a massive planet.
We've seen all of Pandora?
No, I didn't say we've seen all of it.
You just said. You literally just said.
Okay. All right.
You don't think we've seen all of Pandora? No.
Okay, I don't think we've seen all of it. I think we've seen a lot of it. I think
we might have seen a lot of it.
I think it's, bro, I didn't even mind them like taking us to like Promethea like literally like an hour into the game. I'm like, no. Fuck it, take me to Promethea.
But then you're on there for like 2 hours and then you're gone. 2 hours gone, and then it's just like you're planet hopping over and over again. It's like the game is so. The game for me, it didn't know what it wanted to do with the story. I think they were trying to make it up as it was going along.
No,
the villains are trash. The story's trash. You just kind of go through everything. Like even if you were like the whole rocket stuff. Like even if you were to build the rocket a bit more from at the beginning, would have been better. It's already ready made.
Well, yeah, because
Sanctuary's not in the game.
There is Sanctuary, bro.
No,
the ship is Sanctuary.
No, Sanctuary.
Nigga, it's called Sanctuary 3, bro.
Yes, but Sanctuary's not in the game from Borderlands 2.
Because it got blown up.
No, it didn't.
You didn't play the DLC, did you?
Oh, the one that they... Yeah, so that's another thing that I have an issue with. Because obviously to bridge the gap, they made I mean, it
was fine. The DLC...
No, that DLC is not fine.
Yes, it is. What's
wrong
with
it's
it?
not.
It's not that bad. I think it was a decent little...
I think what they did is they hit a height with Borderlands 2 and and it's just been on a steady decline since. And I'm not looking... So what they've done is they're pandering to us with this Tiny Tina one. I don't really want to talk about Borderlands anymore because I'm actually really annoyed with what
I think
Gearbox
Wonderlands looks fucking good. Like,
yeah, but Borderlands 3 looked really good.
Borderlands 3 looked good.
In the trailers and everything, it looked really good, and then it wasn't.
I'm not saying it's going to be game of the year. I'm just saying the game looks good from what I've seen.
I don't really want to see much of it. I've seen trailers and gameplays and stuff from it, but I'm thinking they're pandering to us, and I'm really sick. I'm really kind of upset with how it came because Borderlands 2 was shit.
Bro, we played it throughout uni. Like we literally played it from 2012 to like 2015,
and that was the shit.
Yeah, bro, I still fire it up every so often to like just go back down memory lane. But like, I'm also like, when I went to play that game and got to like Ultimate Vault Hunter, I was like, God damn, this is not balanced at all.
It's because they added it after.
I know, but it is not balanced at all.
They added it after, man. I think that's a little bit,
and that's what really
True Vault Hunter is fine.
It's fine, like it's not bad.
It was an addition of the game, and that's another thing that I dislike about Borderlands 3. It's like you don't actually have to do True Vault Hunter.
If that's all right, I'll give you that.
I don't know why because they have normal mode and then they have True Vault Hunter mode. But you don't even need to do it.
True Vault Hunter mode and Mayhem mode really just cancel each other out. You might as well just do Mayhem mode. It's
I don't understand what they're doing
derivative, bruh. Like,
I think they wanted to do the whole playthrough thing again, but it's just like
the game is not fun to play through again because there's a lot of like talking. You have to wait till someone finishes talking before this activates, so you run all the way back down to the pod again, and it's like, oh, I hate that. That's the one thing I don't like about replaying that game. Post game is fun as shit. Yeah. It's fun. It's really rewarding. That like the builds you can do are just so great. I like that freedom of feeling like I can build anything and it's not going to be bullshit when I go and play a boss. Like Borderlands,
but the game is not hard.
But Borderlands was never really hard.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't mind like Borderlands not being hard. It's still a challenge. Like when you go and do raid bosses, it's still like you have to like play properly.
I think they really sort of fucked it up with Borderlands 3.
They fucked
and then I think they're pandering us with the Tiny Tina stuff because it's trying to recapture the best DLC that they've ever done.
That is peak Borderlands. Like that DLC is.
Oh no, I completely agree. I completely and utterly agree. And I'm not saying what they're doing is a bad decision. It's just I don't like the fact that how it feels like they're pandering to us.
I can see what you mean.
If Borderlands 3 was more as in more critically successful, and then this game came, I would have no issue with it. I think it's because what they're doing. It's almost like a panic. They're like, "Oh shit! Borderlands 3 was not as good as we thought it would be received."
Yeah.
So they're kind of going, "Well, what did everyone love? Tiny Tina." And also, people don't like Tiny Tina in Borderlands 3 because it's not Tiny Tina anymore.
Well, a lot of characters aren't really the same anyway.
No, I know, which is fine because people grow up and stuff. And
it's not even about growth. It's just it feels like. It's just the story. Everyone got kind of fucked up with the story. Like even Lilith just kind of feels annoying.
Yeah.
But the thing about that, why I give them a bly about kind of making Wonderlands is because they said, like I watched a lot of interviews with Randy Pitchford and shit and all like the Gearbox team, and they've really wanted to do something like a mythical type of style like this.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
So I'm like, they've been wanting to do this since like Borderlands, like when they finished making Borderlands 2. And I don't even mean the DLC. I mean when they finished the main game.
It would have made. To me, it would have made more sense if it came out after Borderlands 2.
It would have made more sense. I understand if you want to like work on it a little longer and you want to make it better. You have this new engine and shit, and you want to use the engine. I'm cool with that. Like I'm looking at Wonderlands. I'm like, all right, cool. If it plays well, if the writing's fine, I don't really care if it doesn't necessarily continue from 3 because I know 3 was a bit of a shit show in terms of story. If I'm having fun,
this is the thing. I didn't have fun in Borderlands 3 at all.
I had fun. There was things that I didn't like, which is why I don't consider it my favorite.
I also don't think the Vault Hunters are actually as enjoyable as previous Vault Hunters.
When you mean enjoyable, do you mean like enjoyable to play or just enjoyable as in the character themselves?
Both.
I think they're fun characters. I think Zane's fun to play. I think I like how a lot of it is just like proccing a lot of kill skills and running super fast. I like Moe's just feels like just a lot of explosions. There are fun characters. I think they didn't really flesh out their character as much as we did get in Borderlands 2 with how Salvador is just hilarious. Fucking Zero only talks in haikus and shit like that. I think they missed the boat on that a little bit, but
massively.
I don't know. I don't want to say massively. There's still some personality to these characters.
I don't know.
It's a difference between like kind of coloring in the lines and then making like a real sort of Picasso.
Yes,
it's the difference. Like I still like the look of it, but there's like
so the look is a Borderlands look is fine. The game looks fine. There's
I mean that as a
wrong.
metaphor, like just like I like how things are, but I know that you could have done better. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm a little bit disappointed with them.
Yeah, I'm a little like because
Borderlands the progression from Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2 is night and day.
Oh, easy.
I really like Borderlands 1 though. I still think it has a special place, but it's very basic and primitive.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got wrinkles and liver spots, but for sure.
It still works as it's still a good game in its premise and everything. Borderlands 2 took everything it did in Borderlands 1 and made it better. Easily. They did not do the same thing in Borderlands 3.
For me, it's sort of like they made certain things better and other things got worse.
Yes, but I don't think that balances out.
No, it doesn't balance out.
I think the bad outweighs the good.
Do I think that?
I mean, the story is a massive component of those games. And so is the villain as well.
You know what? It's because Handsome Jack just fucking...
Yeah, you're not beating Handsome Jack, but I think everyone knew that. But they didn't even come close.
I wasn't expecting to beat Handsome Jack.
No, but they didn't even come close to someone like that.
No, you know what? They tried to do Handsome Jack again, but it just didn't fucking work.
Did they though? Because they're just like internet trolls.
No, because a lot of what Handsome Jack's sort of thing is that every so often he'll just come in and start like just insulting the shit out of you in a very snarky way. Where I was like, you like him because he's like, it's funny, but he's the bad guy, so you don't have to feel about him.
Well, he thought he was the good guy.
Yeah, he thought he was the good guy. But it's the same thing about the twins. Oh, we're the chosen ones. We're going to be the gods.
Yeah, but that's pretentious.
It's pretentious. That's there you go. That's it right there. That's the difference between Handsome Jack and the twins. They're pretentious and annoying. They're not funny. They're trying too hard to be funny. Handsome Jack is just funny because it's
also as well, you don't actually see Handsome Jack until the end of the game. You don't see him until the end of the game.
You're right. Sorry, I literally... He
talks to you throughout the entire game.
But like that progression of him even getting more and more desperate as well throughout, like when he blew up Bloodwing, spoilers, and it's 2012. It's 2022.
It's 2012.
It's 2022. That game's been out for 10 years. If you haven't played it now, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But you saw how desperate he got. You saw that his change in personality. It was a nice.
But he still thought he was the good guy.
That's what I mean. It was a great progression. I thought they were going to do... You know what I thought they were going to do in Borderlands 3 with the twins that would have made that game really good? If fucking the brother portrayed...
100%.
That would have been perfect.
If he turned around and killed her, that would have been sick.
If Troy killed Tyrene and became the new bad guy and it's like, yes, I'm now important.
But you know what? If he was like... Because he was sort of under his sister's thumb the entire game. If he then kills her and then becomes this sadistic, like, motherfucker...
Yes. Keep going.
Then I would have been... Firstly, it would have been shocking.
It would have been sick.
Secondly...
I mean, it would have made sense.
It would have made sense because she was horrible to him.
Yes.
And also, if he turned into this complete sadistic fucker, because, like, obviously, if you were to kill, like, your own sibling, like, that would kind of fuck you up in the head. Like, if he turned completely sadistic and started doing, like, crazy shit, like, blowing shit up for a random reason, almost becoming a bit of a Handsome Jack in a way, but kind of a bit more of an unhinged Handsome Jack.
Yes. That is exactly what that game
didn't do it.
And it was literally right there.
And I don't know why they didn't do it.
It was like, when you go bowling, right, and you got the little siblings that set up the little like shit that so they push the ball down the ramp.
The little ramp thing, yeah.
It was like that, and they aimed it into the fucking gully. Oh, that's the one thing about that's the part of the story that really pisses me off. They could have done it so much better if fucking Tyreen got killed by Troy. It would have made that game 100% more better. But like I said, I have fucking caveman brain, and I like shooting things. And the game shoots things well, and
it does. I'm not saying it doesn't.
I'm sorry. I know like you don't fuck with that game, but the fact that
I think it's because I feel betrayed by it a little bit.
I don't like.
But I think you can understand why I feel betrayed by it.
Bro, I feel you. Like if you see me on my streams, right? I ain't streamed in like a good few months, but I would go on about how this story really fucking missed the mark. Like I have like a good 4-hour VODs of me going on about how dumb the story is.
I think everyone everyone who's played the game recognizes how dumb that story is.
But I just love playing Moe's. I love playing Amara and shit. It's a fun game to me. It's just I really don't like playing the story. But anyway, we're done. We're off this. We've kicked it into the ground. I'm still gonna play Wonderlands because I think it looks fun.
I don't want to play it, but if people say it's good, I might. I can get peer pressure to be worth. Is it?
Yeah.
To be fair, that's a plus point.
I'm buying it on my PC, bro. Olivia's gonna buy it as well because she thinks it looks fun. And I'm like, fuck it, let's go for it.
If it's good, I might buy it on my PS5 and then we can play together.
I will give you the review. I'll give you the backstage pass and I'll let you know how it is, bro.
Quickly, what's coming out?
House of the Dead remake is coming out. I can't wait.
Do you know what? Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. I'm looking forward to that as well.
I need to play Lego Star Wars. They're
fun
Nintendo
games.
Nintendo Switch Sports. That looks sick.
Oh, that looks good as well. Yeah.
Mario Strikers.
Yes.
Free
Pokemon game coming out at the end of the year as well.
You're gonna buy this game right now. You're gonna buy Capcom Fighting Collections. You know why? Because they're putting Darkstalkers in the collection.
I love Darkstalkers,
and I want that game to come back. Look at me in the eye right now. All right, I really want Darkstalkers to come back. I want to play a Darkstalkers 4. All right, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for so long. I just
remember that game being horny as fuck.
Oh, Morrigan is yeah,
the vampire girl.
But I'm gonna play the shit out of that game because I really want another Darkstalkers. Fam, I bought the collection on Xbox 360 and I'm like, oh yeah, if you buy this, we'll make a new Darkstalkers. They never did it. They said that. They said, oh, if you buy this, then we might make a new Darkstalkers because they teased it and they never did. Days. That's why I need you to buy that.
Okay,
you got money. You will buy that game.
No.
I don't care if you don't play it. Buy it.
What's on it?
Darkstalkers 1, 2 to 3 and whatever. Pocket Fighter, and they got Hyper Street Fighter 2, Red Earth, and Cyberbots. Cyberbots.
Okay, yeah, I might buy it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, guys, I gotta let my co-host get on. But you did it again. I did it again. Sorry, you took the mic off the table.
I've done this last episode as well.
Oh my god.
By the way, Miyazaki is an absolute king. This is Video Games 3. Miyazaki.
Ooh. And if you like this episode of the Betwixt Ideas Podcast, guys, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
Instagram, Twitter. Everything's in the notes.
And below. In your dreams, you dream about me.
Subscribe in your dreams.
Subscribe in your dreams, man.
Subscribe in your dreams. And this is us gone.
We're out. Peace out. Have a good one. Bye.